Hey everyone, Tankenstein here, and welcome to Stock to Spaded. In this episode, I'll be showcasing the Leopard 2A6. This is a currently rank 7 battle rating 11.7 main battle tank in the German ground forces tech tree, and represents the current apex of said tech tree. This is the top tank that you can currently unlock with the Germans, and arguably one of the top tanks in Warthunder. Now that being said, of course, in every single episode of Stock to Spaded, I take this on at least 3 matches, with the first match being fully stock, second match being about halfway spaded, and the third match being fully spaded, so that you can get a good gauge of exactly how this vehicle will play, again, from when you first get it to when you finally get done fully spading it. That way you have a good idea of if this vehicle is worth your time in purchasing, crewing, grinding, and spading, because of course that can take a heck of a lot of time, especially with these higher VR vehicles. Now that being said, I do currently have this vehicle already fully spaded, so I will be retroactively removing every single modification so that we can get a stock match. Half the modifications will be on it for the spaded match, and again, all the modifications will be on it for the fully spaded match, so that way you can see exactly how this is. And again, throughout I will be telling you exactly how this vehicle plays, again, fully stock, halfway spaded, and fully spaded, so you get a good idea of it, and I'll be doing it in as unbiased of a way as possible. So that being said, let's jump into it and play the 2A6. So here we are fully stocked with the Leopard 2A6, and I will just tell you guys this right away: the fully stock grind on this is hell on tracks, I guess. It sucks. It is terrible. I've been trying to play this thing and get any sort of kill versus the most advanced armor in the game with an outmoded type of ammunition, the Heat FS, and it is just booty chatter. I'd be lucky if I get 2 kills in this match, and if I do, I'm going to probably keep it. Anyways, so the big difference between this and the Leopard 2A5 is simply the cannon. And so the cannon on this is an L60 or an L55, whereas on the standard, or on the 2A5 rather, the Leopard 2A5, you have an L44. Now, what do those numbers mean? Basically, it just means that the cannon on the Leopard 2A6 is longer than that on the 2A5, and I guess also the 2A4 for that matter. So it's 11 calibers longer, which means that it's approximately 11 times 120 millimeters, being that 120 millimeters is the barrel width, longer. So it's about 3.3 meters, give or take. I'm not really all that great with my math, but thereabouts, right? So it's not an incredible amount longer, but it's enough where it will increase muzzle velocity, obviously, which is very, very nice. I don't know. Hopefully I can get this. Got the cannon barrel. That's pretty much what I'm going to have to do here, is just shoot these guys, like, because shooting in the in that turret ring, right? Like, you'd think, oh, that's going to be a great spot. Nope, it's not. You can't hit the lower glacis because they have enough armor to just completely make a mess out of your shell. So you pretty much just have to take out their armament somehow and hope that it works. Now, when it comes to the mobility fully stock, it's pretty good, but you will notice that things like the Leopard 2, this 2A6, for example, I'm assuming he's fully stock. He's outpacing me by a pretty decent amount, or he's close to it. He at least has some mobility upgrades. And so you do notice that you go a little bit slower than most other MBTs at and around this BR, simply because most other MBTs just kind of become fully spaded pretty quickly. I'm hoping I'm not going to die here, but if I do, I do. But I mean, ultimately, this vehicle, it kind of reminds me of the fully stock grind with the Leopard, or with the an M1A2, which is I don't know if there's any other way to really describe it, because you have a pretty similar-ish Heat FS, if I'm not mistaken, similar-ish amounts of armor, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's just a pretty similar grind overall. Nothing too much better or worse. It's just similar, and they also weigh somewhat similar amounts. Man, I am really nervous about doing this. Okay, we have an enemy over here. Got the gunner, but I'm gonna still die, I think. Uh-huh. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Got the track and the fuel tank. This is why Heat FS sucks so bad. Can I get him? I got the kill. That was a miracle. It was a miracle. So I've gotten thus far 2 base caps, 1 kill, and 1 assist. To be honest with you, that's about as well as I've done with this. It has just been a slog. An absolute slog trying to do anything. Because you're facing, again, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the most powerful armor in-game, the best armor in Warthunder with... That's totally meant to defeat this type of shell, right? Like Heat FS and chemical weapons and all that. It's meant to defeat that. And so I'm trying to defeat all of that with an outmoded ammunition type. And so it's so rough. But the thing is, once you get this thing fully spaded, much better. Once you get the first APF SDS, it's much better. And again, because it has that longer barrel compared to the 2A5, for example, you will be able to actually pen relatively more than you would with basically the same exact shells in a 2A5. So it's just a nice overall thing. Okay, there he is. Oh, I'm flying high, buddies. I'm flying high. 2 kills. That's as good as I'm going to get right here. They're saying that there's an enemy somewhere over here. I don't see him. But I'm going to hide. Because if there's an enemy over here, I don't want anything to do with him. Because I will die. And again, I mean, the armor on this thing is pretty decent thus far. It's not bad, especially from the front, as one could expect. It's pretty good. I've gotten 3 base caps. I'm pretty impressed by myself here. 3 base caps. So, that said, I mean, not too bad for a fully stocked match. Again, the worst, absolutely the worst thing with this vehicle, the worst trait with this vehicle fully is, nice! Nice! Doesn't have to do with the fact that the Leopard 2 itself is good, bad, or anything else, right? It has to do with the fact that the Heat FS, unless you're getting a side shot, which literally all my kills have been side shots in this match, unless you're getting a side shot, you're probably not going to get anything. You're not going to get a kill. And you're pretty much just going to have to hope for a cannon breach or cannon barrel destruction. Ooh! Oh, that was a Vickers 3. But also one of the big problems with Heat FS is that if you're hitting like a light pole, for example, or any sort of debris, it's going to explode before it reaches your target, more likely than not. So, you end up like, oh, I want to shoot this guy over there. Boom. You shoot, and your shot doesn't go through anything. So I'm going to back up here. I didn't realize I was getting that close to the enemy base. I'm really bad with map awareness sometimes. But overall, not a bad first match. And again, trying to be completely unbiased with you guys, honest with you guys, this is my best match that I've had thus far with this. But pretty much every other match I've had with this has been terrible. Absolutely. Wow, my voice kind of cracked because of how happy I am. It's been absolutely terrible. So pretty much I had to choose between pretty damn good and just terrible. And getting a terrible match wouldn't really give you guys a good idea of how this thing performs either, because you'd only have about a minute of seeing this thing, and then we're on to the next match, and, not good. So, that said, barring any action on the A point, which we might have, let's jump into the halfway spaded match, and see what we could do, but, I mean, thus far, as a tank, this is a very good vehicle. But, oh, there we go. There we go, but the Heat FS sucks unless you get a side shot, which, again, literally every one of my kills has been a side shot. 5 kills, 4 assists. Not too bad. I think this match is pretty much over. I don't know how the... Oh, he's got 5 base caps? Really? Good for him. So anyways, let's get into the halfway spaded match now, barring any further action, and see what we could do. But I'm going to be so happy to get that APF-SDS laser rangefinder and thermals. Oh man, that's been on my wish list forever. Let's get into it. So here we are about halfway spaded in the Leopard 2A6, and I just somehow got that kill. And this vehicle is very, very nice. It's got the DM53 APF-SDS, which I am really enjoying, as you can see there. I just went right through those tanks. I've got the thermal sights, I've got the laser rangefinder. This thing is pretty much just, I would say about 100% improved. It's got a huge amount of power now with the DM53. Over 650 millimeters of armor pen, which is fantastic. The thermals really light the world up, and of course the laser rangefinder makes it so that I can, hopefully at least, take out enemies from a range, at least more accurately. Now, this does have, again, more armor pen than the same exact DM53 that you'd find in the Leopard 2A5 because of the longer barrel, thus the higher muzzle velocities. And I also have an engine upgrade, which gives me something like 0.8 seconds faster acceleration to top speed, which basically means that it now has higher average top speeds, or higher average speed. So I'm probably going like 2, 3, 4 kilometers per hour faster on average when I'm moving. So this thing is great. Also, before I chimed in, I had an assist, so not all too bad. You know, I'm pretty happy with this vehicle thus far, and realistically speaking, these are probably around, I'd say like 80-90% of the modifications that you'll want. Did that look like a helicopter? I don't know. So this is probably around 80-90% of the functionality that you'll be getting with this vehicle. It's just pretty much has everything, again, that you want. Looks like this match is already almost over. I'm just kind of firing off into the distance there. Keep on keeping on. Got ourselves a nice kill. Look at that. Again, you can shoot through the front of enemies with this. Now, I think I'm going to die here, but that's fine. That's fine. I kind of expected it. So, that being said, let's get into the fully spaded match, see what we could do. 3 kills, 1 assist, 1 base cap. Not all too bad for only just a few seconds, realistically speaking, of gameplay. As said, let's get fully spaded. So here we are, fully spaded in the Leopard 2A6, and by far and away, the biggest upgrade that I'm noticing from being halfway spaded with just the engine mod to fully spaded is the mobility. It is just incredibly, like, so much better. I know I'm speaking a little bit weird when I say that, but genuinely, it is way, way, way better. So by adding the transmission, filters, even the suspension upgrade, I feel like is helping here, because it is damping some of that speed loss when going over rough terrain, especially over rough terrain. This thing is just wonderful. I mean, it's silky smooth. Okay, we have an enemy over here. At least one enemy. Want to face him with the front of my tank, if I can find him. But it looks like he might be behind. There we go. Got the Black Knight. Very good. Cannot complain about that. So let's go ahead and just see if there's anyone over here. Suspect we might see someone, but either way, when it comes down to the mobility on this thing, like I said, I mean, it's taken a huge leap forward in effectiveness. This thing is just tremendously quicker. And even just, again, when I had the engine upgrade, I felt a pretty decent upgrade in speed, but it wasn't huge. Here, this is way, way, way better than I had expected. And so I feel much better about this vehicle. So we have an enemy over here. I'm going to back up. He clearly knows where I am. So let's go ahead and just drop this down near him. I'm going to back up. What I'm going to do is actually smoke this out. Back up. Try to go this way, if I can. He's going to expect me to go that way. Then, unless he knows exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to die. Okay, let's go ahead and just back that baby up. He's coming around. Okay, I don't know what the heck is going on here, but it appears as though I am the luckiest man in the world. So let's just go ahead and get that kill. I'm going to move up because my engine is starting to smoke. I want to be able to heal a little bit quicker, so I'm going to go to my friendly base and then just kind of do that. But thus far, 3 kills. So when it comes down to it, do I recommend this vehicle? Yes, 110%. I mean, grinding's a bit tough. You know, I mean, as with any higher BR vehicle, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But the payoff on this, I mean, with my experience in Warthunder, I've got the M1A2 SEP. I've pretty much played every top-tier ground vehicle in Warthunder. And I can tell you guys this right off the bat. This might be the best. If it's not the best, it might be the most balanced between... ooh, wow, that was interesting. It might be the most balanced between survivability, armament, mobility especially. Like, the mobility, again, is surprisingly good. Got the engine transmit. Very nice, actually. I'm very happy with that. It's just overall a slamming vehicle, and I don't know what the heck is going on over here, but I'm getting a whole bunch of kills and assists from people who are not, like, looking both ways before crossing the road. That's something your parents should teach you guys, or whoever taught you when you're growing up, whether it's a parent, guardian, or orphanage headmaster. Not sure. Not making fun of people. Do they even have orphanages anymore? Like, serious question. I don't think they really do. Not in the U.S. at least. Anyways, wow. Wow. So, yeah. In short, this is a very effective tank. DM53 provides, especially with this gun, is just amazing. I can't wait until they come out with more effective variants, like the 2A, well, arguably more effective. I feel like the 2A5 to the 2A6 was a bigger change than, from what I'm reading, the 2A6 to the 2A7. Just based on what I've read about it. I think if I'm, you know, hopefully I'm right about this. Wow, what the heck is going on? I'm still not even, not even close to getting, whatchamacallit, a nuke. But wow. So the Heat FS is, or not the Heat, what am I even saying here? I've got kills on my mind. Dollar bills on my mind. But once the 2A7, I'm assuming the 2A7 is going to come to Warthunder, right? Like, they've got to. Kind of like how they added the Sep Tusk. They've got to add the 2A7. I just don't see how that's not going to happen. But I don't think it's all that big of an upgrade over the 2A6. So this might be pretty damn... Like, this is a bigger upgrade, again, over the 2A5. From what I'm to understand, over than the 2A7 is compared to the 2A6. So it is what it is. But it seems as though we've won this match. Holy cow. We have won this match and then some. I mean, I am shocked. Absolutely shocked. So, that being said, yeah, barring any other kills, yeah, grind this vehicle. Get this vehicle. The 2A6, this is a great vehicle. And I'll tell you guys from my own experience, while the M1A2, I've got the Sep Tusk, I've got the Standard, both fully, well, more or less fully spaded. The Sep Tusk is. And while I both have those, and they're kind of similar enough vehicles, the Leopard 2, I've always done way better with it. And I think there's a good reason for it. I think it's a better vehicle. And this vehicle is incredible. So definitely go ahead, grind for it, unlock it, fully spade it. This vehicle is 110% worth it. And is one of the most mobile and most heavily and well-armed vehicles in Warthunder. And also armored vehicles. Once you get up to top tier, the only thing really that it kind of lacks is APF or ERA, which I prefer ERA, you know, because of course the Russians are coated, they're slathered in ERA, and they have somehow magical armor that doesn't get penned. But either way, thanks again, and I will see you all on the other side. Pretty damn good match, if I say so myself. Take care, everyone.